Hey guys, Mr. Thaxton here. Happy Friday. Hope all of you are having a great day and are excited about the weekend. Just here in just a little bit, but I wanted to go over some things today with you just to kind of get you ready for your quiz that you will take after this, after you watch this recorded lesson. And don't forget to do CNN 10 today as well. Remember, CNN 10, you don't just watch it today, you're also going to write about it. So either the summary or the 3-2-1. So yesterday you should have looked at your study guide, kind of went over it. And if you have not done so, we'll take a look at it just real fast. And it is basically just some information about what we've been learning, such as the equator is a latitude line, the prime meridian is a longitude line, equator separates the northern and southern hemispheres, the prime meridian separates the eastern and western hemispheres. So you kind of think about that. The latitude lines are horizontal, the longitude lines are vertical. The equator is horizontal, right, separating the north and the south. And the prime meridian is longitude, it's separating the east from the west. And my hands might have been in the wrong spot with the video, but you know what I'm saying. I also talked about physical and political maps. Remember, a physical map is a map that is showing a feature such as rivers, lakes. It could be a map about all the national forest or deserts in the world. Or it could be a climate map. A climate map is showing the temperatures in different areas. A political map is where it is more talking about location. So if you were looking at a map of the United States that showed all the states and maybe even the capitals or major cities, that would be a political map. We also talked about the last week about the 7 continents. Remember, Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. And then also the 5 major oceans: Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Arctic, and Southern. We talked about some things, some helpful tools on a map, such as the key and legend, which identifies those important features. So if you go back to the physical map we were talking about with the national forest, that maybe it was a national forest map, they might have different symbols representing different things there. And there will be a key at the bottom kind of showing what the features represent. A scale is also on a map, and that kind of shows the distance on a map and it's comparing it to the distance of real life or something that's the real ground. So that you'll see that a good bit on maps. The other thing is, of course, a compass rose. And compass rose gives the directions on a map: the north, south, east, and west. And sometimes you might even see them break it down even further, like northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. So getting even more specific, which can be very helpful. So you might hear sometimes it says you're going southeast. So that means you're not just going straight south, you're going down south, but also to the east. And so that is something that is very common on all maps, as well as GPS devices and things of that sort. So that's just a little bit, very simple stuff. You're going to take the quiz. And if you want to, you can pause this video right now and take your quiz. And the way you're going to take your quiz is you'll just go into I'm in Miss Large's class. You will click on the quiz button. When you click on the quiz button, it will take you to the Google form that will be the quiz thing. The first thing it has you do is select your homeroom. Make sure you put your homeroom on there. That way it's easier for me to grade. And then make sure you put your name. That's the second question. And then, guys, there are only 5 questions. So take your time and do the best you can. So I'll pause it right now, and you can take that quiz, and then we'll get back. Hit play again when you are done with the quiz. Okay, guys. I know you did great on the quiz. I'm proud of you for doing that and working hard. I will get those grades in iNow. Will probably take a little bit of time just because I got to get it from the Google form to iNow. But there will be some grades in there pretty soon. Also, you make sure you do your CNN 10 after this is done. I want to take a minute, just a second, and talk about the Flipgrid that you did yesterday. And this kind of leads into what we will begin studying next week with explorers in the New World, why people were exploring. And so as you were watching, as you were making your Flipgrid, I had some questions like, is this like in real life? Is it when I'm adult, or is it when I'm now? And there really was no criteria for that. So that made the question even more fun. But when you think about it, there's several things that you would want to take with you on a voyage. One of the first things I think about is a map, because you think about these early explorers, they were going westward, going from Europe, they were going west towards what is now America. But they didn't have a map for over there because no one has ever been. So my guess is they would have a map of showing how far they would go, and then they probably were creating maps as they went and seeing how it went. They go. Remember, during this time, a lot of people thought the Earth was what? They thought it was flat, and so it was a risky voyage or exploration for these explorers. So a map would be something that I would want to take. Another thing I would want to take, of course, is water, right? You would want to have lots of water and supplies, food supplies, just to kind of be safe there. That's another thing on my list. The third thing I would want on my list is I would like to have like a person that is very good at drawing, because there weren't pictures back then, like for cameras type. So we would want someone to document our exploration, and if we found land, which a lot of these explorers did, they could draw a picture showing what it was. So that's three of my things. Another thing I think I would have them bring, or I would want to bring, would be let's see. I think I would bring some of just some valuables, things that I could trade. So if they did come across people, maybe I could trade some things and get to know them a little bit better. And the fifth thing, and this is pretty simple, and it kind of goes back to our compass rose we talked about with our maps, is I would want a compass. I want a compass to help guide me. And so those are the five things that I would, not anything fancy, nothing extraordinary compared to some of your answers. Y'all had some really good thoughts. But those are some things that I want. And that's kind of me thinking back in those times when there wasn't phones or cameras, right? So for example, if it was today's day, I might say, oh yeah, I'll just take my iPhone. What does it have? A camera. It has a Siri who can help me with directions and stuff like that, as well as a compass. So all those things would be on there. So in today's world, it would be a lot easier you could get more stuff for the five things, because a lot of it's built into one. But anyways, that's enough for me rambling. I hope that just gets our brain starting to think about these explorers. And so as we get into next week, we're going to start looking at why these European countries such as Spain, Portugal, England, which is Great Britain, and other countries wanted to explore what they call the West, the unknown West, and why it was such a risk. So, guys, happy Friday. I am so glad that we have had a great week. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week, and y'all be safe.